How's it going, YouTube? Tone M here, doing another video on cleaning different types of firearms, mostly pistols. Just did one a while back about shotgun cleaning, and today we're going to do one on a 38 special revolver, and it is my Rock Island Model 206 6-shot 38 special revolver. Armscore. It's made by Armscore, but Rock Island Armory, I guess, owns Armscore, so you get a couple different stamps on here. The grip says Armscore, the pistol says Rock Island. It's made in the Philippines, and their police department actually uses them. It's my little snubby. They do have a full barrel one, which is a 4-inch barrel, and don't have one of those. I'll get one eventually. I went with the snubby first, and this isn't the handle it actually comes with. This is a grip that I got for it. This grip goes to comes standard on the full-sized revolver model, the Model 200, which is the 4-inch barrel one, and I believe that's the one the police actually use in the Philippines. Still same 6-shot, just 4-inch barrel, comes with this style grip on it. The snubs, though, they come with the wood-handled ones, which I thought were really nice. That's it right there. I thought it was really cool, real nice, sleek, fit in your hand, you know, easy to grab when you're trying to pull it out of your holster or whatnot. But my wife, she didn't like that I was too small, so she wanted a bigger handle. She felt that she, you know, could control the pistol better. So happy life, happy wife, right, folks? Alright, so basically, I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I do on maintaining my pistol, especially my revolver, stuff like that. My version of cleaning it and keeping it ready to fire, ready to use, and whatnot. Okay? And as a disclaimer that I put out on all my videos, I'm not a professional. My videos are based on things that I do that work for me. If you do choose to use my techniques or my ways of cleaning my pistols or taking apart my pistols or shotguns, your results may vary. So with that in mind, you know, happy watching and hope you enjoy. Alright, let's go ahead and put this camera down. Get you a nice view there. There we go. Should be right on top. Okay. Yeah, you're right on top. Good. Alright. So, basically, I mean, it's a revolver, guys. It's empty, so for anybody that didn't catch that, there's no rounds in it. That's the beauty about revolvers. Whether it's loaded or not loaded, you're always able to see if there's rounds in it. Very dependable weapons. They have been for years and years and years. Obviously, you know, they came out before the semi-automatics, and they're still being made because they're that dependable. I like revolvers because, one, you know how many rounds you're getting, you know if it's loaded or not, and if for whatever reason it doesn't fire, you just keep cycling through until, you know, you get it to fire. Unlike the normal pistols nowadays, which are the semi-automatics, you get a round that doesn't fire, you got to sit there and force eject it, and you know, you just wasted a round that could potentially still work. Also, you don't get failures to feed with a revolver, you know, or failure to eject with a revolver, because, you know, it's simplicity in a pistol. You know, that's all you got. You got a round cylinder, holds the rounds. You got very minimal moving parts. You know, it's just a beautiful weapon. Alright, basically what I do to keep it ready and maintain and clean it, because I don't sit there and throw my guns in the dirt. I don't try to jump in mud puddles or go swimming with them or anything like that. Not that stuff like that won't ever happen. I'm sure I'll get in a boat one day. I do live in Florida, and you know, it might fall out, or hell, my brother might row us into a bridge or something, and you know, drop us in the water. True story, it did happen once. And you know, so she might get wet one day. Who knows? You know, life's full of unexpected things. So anyhow, basically all I do is I just crack her open like that. You know, get your cylinder release latch here, pull it open, you know, check, make sure there's no rounds in it. The usual kind of go over. I get myself some Remington oil or hops, and there's other ones. There's frog oil, or I think it's called frog oil, or frog something, I don't know. There's so many different brands out there, but I stick with the Remington because it's a nice convenient spray, unlike this one where you kind of dab and you got to dunk in there and everything. That's good for really getting down and dirty with barrels and cleaning and using these types of cleaning systems here. But anyhow, with the Remington, all I do is I kind of pull the hammer back. Actually, I'll go ahead and pull the hammer all the way back. Just kind of give it a good squirt down in there, get it into the trigger system, go down the barrel with it, let it break up whatever soot, you know, built up in there from releasing the bullet. Spray the cylinder out, and then I'll spray the ejector rod and just kind of work it back and forth, because you gotta understand, the cylinder is your rounds carrying magazine, if you will. I mean, that's where you put your rounds in, that's where they stay, that's where they're held. However, it also doubles as an extension to your barrel. Okay? A semi-automatic, you have a magazine well. That's all barrel in a semi-automatic. You put your magazine in, you slide the you pull the slide back, which chambers around, and it's completed its course. That's it. It's done. Once that slide goes forward, that round gets pushed into the barrel, and it's ready to fire. With the revolver, that's not the case. You know, it doesn't have a full-length barrel. You have the barrel that's at the end here, or longer one depending, and this is the gap. This is that bridge that brings your rounds to the barrel and still keeps it from blowing up in your hand and whatnot. You'll still get, like, if you fire multiple times. I know I went to the range a couple months ago, and I must have put over 200 rounds through it. When I was done shooting, my whole hand was black from the gunpowder, you know, because it's got to have a little bit of release, you know. So that's one kind of downfall to a revolver as opposed to a semi-automatic. Semi-automatic keeps it all inside, you know, but either way, you know, I still prefer a revolver over a semi-automatic, just for the fact, again, it's simple, really minimal moving parts, not so many small pieces, unless you get into taking apart the trigger assembly and everything. Then you're going to get into some little parts, some springs and stuff like that. Once you let it sit for a little while after spraying it down, just go ahead and get yourself your little utility rag and just give it a good rub over. Get all the excess oil off. Alright, and remember, you did spray some oil down there, so go ahead and close the cylinder, and you just want to work that hammer back and forth. Don't dry fire it, that's why I'm holding it. It's horrible, horrible, horrible practice to dry fire a hammer struck pistol or anything hammer struck, because all you're doing is you're wearing out that striker pin inside, and you know, I mean, that's just, you're wearing out the life for it for no reason. You could be wearing it out at the gun range or in self-defense, not for being dumb sitting at home. Hey, I got a gun, let's keep pulling the trigger. So you don't want to do that. It's not good practice. I cringe every time I go to a gun store and you got the guys, oh yeah, it's a great revolver, it's a 44 Magnum or a 38 Special, and they'll sit there and they'll pull the trigger. Yeah, it works, double action, click, 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 and I'm like, man, you know, you're supposed to be a professional gun guy. Why are you, why are you dry firing it? You're pretty much showing anybody that's never messed with a pistol before that it's okay to do that. It's not okay. It's not a good practice to do. It can damage, it can wear out things that just, I can harp on that all day, but let that go. Just don't do it. Alright, once you've given it a good rub down, getting all the excess oil, go ahead and get yourself your little cotton swab there. Now, actually, that's backwards. Recap that back here. Get yourself your wire brush first. That's what was supposed to be on the end of that. And you just kind of prop it in a way that's easier for you. I'm going to do it this way so that way you guys can see. You just kind of work it through. Nothing. You're not going nuts. You're just making sure you go through each cylinder or chamber, whatever you want to call it, and just kind of give it a cook. Just kind of stuff it down. Make sure it comes out the end. And basically, all you're doing really is, as I said before, when you fire a revolver, the gases have to go everywhere. Gunpowder that doesn't get burned up, has to escape somewhere. And what it'll do is it'll end up caking inside the cylinder here. It also will get gunked up in here. And I'll just take that same brush that I stuck down the cylinders and I'll just kind of scratch through just a little bit. Nothing, not acting like an archaeologist and trying to find bones or anything and going all up in the nook and crannies. I'm just giving it a good little once down. Now, because of the type of frame, you can't just push the thing this way like you would with a breakdown shotgun or breakdown rifle, something like that, or with your J-frames or anything like that, like the top opening revolvers, stuff like that. So you're going to have to go in backwards. And I say backwards because usually you want to go from the back to the front, because that's how the bullet goes, from the back to the front. With this type of frame, it's kind of hard to do that. So you just kind of work your brush in. You're not, again, going nuts. You're just breaking up any kind of soot, excess gas, excess gunpowder that didn't burn up, and that's about it. Give it a good blow down. If you got an air hose, an air compressor, and a little air hose, I'd suggest using that. I don't have one on me right now, so that's why I blew into it. After you've gone through it with the bristle brush there, switch out for your cotton swab. As you can see, I've cleaned my revolver prior. You can Squirt it down again if you'd like. It doesn't hurt it. It's just more stuff that the swab has to get out. But basically, same concept as you did with the bristle brush. Just take it, work it through, making sure you get all that excess oil you just shot in there, if you did do that, out, and making sure that anything that the bristle brush scratched off or gotten out is indeed all out. And go back to this side again, and again, same concept as the bristle brush. You got to stick it through the front, just kind of work it through. Now, I say this with any of my cleaning videos, just in case that wasn't seen, you got to work it through the front there. But basically, I call these Q-tip ends or Q-tip swabs. There's probably a official name for it. I don't know it. Anyway, same concept of cleaning your barrel or cylinder gaps or anything like that is as cleaning your ears. Stick it in gently, spin it around every couple of times, and just work it through, making sure you're getting all the gunk out. Just like cleaning your ears. Nothing major, nothing's not brain science. It's just simple, simple, simple. At least that's how I try to do it. Simple for me, but it still keeps working and it's still effective. And that's all you can ever hope for. Once that's all done, take your rag again, make sure you get any kind of soot that might have come out with the bristle brush or the cotton swab. Take yourself a peek down the cylinders here, like that. Make sure it's all nice and clear. Take a stare down the barrel, make sure you didn't scratch out any of the rifling, which if you have a really, really, really cheaply made pistol with really shallow rifling, it is very possible to literally scratch the rifling off of the barrel and smooth it out. Or if you just really, really, really heavy scrubbing. So I don't suggest doing any of that. Once that's all done, what I like to do with my pistol, especially my revolver, is I take my Hops lubricant and I just go down and I'll go and touch up anywhere that has a moving part. So I'll go ahead and I'll squirt a little dab right here, right on the actual the wheel itself, right here where it's attached. I'll work the ejector rod as well as spinning the cylinders, because you want your cylinder to spin with no hesitation whatsoever, with no resistance, because you ever have to speed fire this bad boy, you don't want to have a lockup, which that's going to bite me later. It goes, oh hey, you said that these are really reliable, yada yada yada. Well, they are. Revolvers are very reliable. However, that's not to go without saying that there aren't little hiccups that can happen. Semi-automatics have failure to eject, failure to feed. It could be an underpowered round that just doesn't let the pistol cycle or anything, But with the revolver, it's more prone to have some dust damage, dirt damage. So you just kind of want to make sure your wheels still spinning freely and everything. Nothing's gunked up in there. You can spin it with your finger, no problem, and make sure that it'll cycle, because stuff gets up in there. It's pretty open if you think about it. It's not as covered up as a semi-automatic with its housing and everything. So it's not without its flaws, folks, but it's still more dependable. once you've gone ahead and made sure your wheel's going to spin freely and everything, take a little bit of that oil and just kind of work it right up into that hammer area. And you can pull it back all the way, or you can just kind of half cock it more or less and just make sure it works up in there. That's all you want to do. Just let it get in there. You're going to see your trigger moving the whole time and everything. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not hurting anything. You're just letting that lubricant work itself in there. Close up. Work it through, and just take your rag, touch up any spots you see that's kind of still damp from excess oil, and that's about it, guys. That's how I clean and maintain my 38 Special Revolver. And again, you know, if there's other ways you do it, if you fully take it apart, take the Hogu apart and everything. For those who don't know what it's called, Hogu or pistol grip. You know, some people take it apart, get all up in there. If you take it apart, that's how you get into your trigger assembly, the spring and everything, your hammer attachment and all that. I don't get all into that unless I have to make a repair or take it apart for something that really severely went wrong or really got dirty, like if I dropped her in mud or something. But in a nutshell, guys, that's pretty much it. That's all I do. So you know, you just make sure it's done and ready, and that's about it, guys. That's cleaning and maintaining the 38 Special. Hope you enjoyed. Have any comments, share them down below. Any advice, any tricks that you know that make it a little bit easier. Maybe I'm doing something that's taking a little longer than normal. Feel free. I love learning. So there you go, guys. Happy watching, and Tone M out.